Tonight we're gonna go ahead and put the carbon fiber drive shaft shop 3.8-inch drive shaft. That was a lot to memorize. We're gonna go ahead and get it on the Redeye. Took about 4 weeks to get it in. Last week they sent us an aluminum, which happened to be the wrong. Obviously, we're not going to use aluminum, so they sent us the complete wrong drive shaft. We still have our replacement carbon fiber that they're going to make, and then this is the carbon fiber that I bought, I guess as a backup. So here we go. We're going to get started and show you how to get a drive shaft mounted on a Hellcat Redeye. So getting into the installation of the drive shaft, there's going to be a total of 14 bolts. I think we've covered this before in another video. I'm going to do a little bit more, hopefully in-depth for you. To get it initially mounted, what we did is I used one bolt. Obviously you can see it's not all the way through. Just put one bolt on one side, put another bolt on the other. That way the drive shaft is up, you know, it's in the air. It's mounted to the car, so now we'll just take all of the rest of the bolts and the guides, and we'll go ahead and tighten them, and then we're going to tighten them in a star pattern and at 57 foot-pounds. We have a torque wrench, so we'll go ahead and once we get all of them in, I'll show you how to get them down and torque down the proper way. Oh, one thing I forgot too, and make sure you use blue Loctite on all the bolts. That way they don't back out. So once you got your bolts tightened, at least you know, put it in your crosshatch or your star pattern. You've got them tightened to the point where you can start moving forward with your torque spec. What I do is I take tape, and once I hit my mark on my torque or hear the beep, I'll mark it to where I know that bolt has been finished. So let's show you this. Always check it 3 times because I'm crazy. So there's that one. Now I know that bolt is finished. So then I'll go to the one directly across from it. I can get up in there. Come on. There we go. This one was kind of loose. 1, 2, 3. And I'll go ahead and put my tape on it. Now I know that one's finished. And I'll come back down. Mark it. Go back over here. This one. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and get our drive shaft loop installed. So what you'll see here is like there's 4 bolts, so here and here, and then on this side is here and here. We did one side at a time. Don't just drop this down, but you can see our shim. See the black shim right there? With the black shim, that helps bring that down, so when you put the loop on, it gives it enough clearance. So once you get those shims installed, go ahead and tighten your bolts back up. Then you'll remove these 2 15mm bolts. So I'm sure there's a better way to do this, but I'm just going to go ahead and support it with my knees. So once this is out, pretty much the transmission is just sitting on this bracket, and there's nothing bolted to it. So you take your holes, you're going to want to line them up. So what I'll do is put a towel on my knee. That way it's not just bare metal. I'll go ahead and lift it up. See that? You can go ahead and lift it up like that. Go ahead and set it down. Try to line up your holes. Right. Go ahead and lift it up. Yep. And there we go. So you can see it's not going to move. But I would go ahead and leave those loose just a little bit. That way you can go ahead and get everything buttoned up. So you can still move it. We'll go ahead and put our loop on. We got everything mounted with the drive shaft loop. Both bolts are tightened. Went ahead and Loctited the loop bolts and then installed them. Now we're moving on to the exhaust. So at this point we have our drive shaft installed, which looks really sweet, by the way. I got to take a photo of it before. Actually, I should take a photo of it before I put this exhaust on because I want to see it. But we got the drive shaft on. The loop is on. Now we're going to go ahead and put our brand new Stainless Works mid pipes on. I went ahead and bought new mid pipes because on the JBA you could see that they were rusted and just honestly they looked horrible. They looked like garbage. So I went ahead and bought Stainless Works. First impression, they look really good. From what I'm told, they're also not going to rust like the JBA mid pipes did. But anyway, the reason for replacing them is this flange right here. They bent from putting them on and taking them off so many times, aka like 1,000 drive shaft failures later. But we went ahead and bought new ones, and we're gonna go ahead and get them mounted up, and I'll show you how to do it. There's 2 male bolts, and you'll take your factory screws that are beat up and rusted, and you'll put the mid pipe on here. Go ahead and bolt them down. I'm not sure about the torque specs, so I'm just going to go hand tight, and then since I spend a lot of time under the car, I'm going to go ahead and come back and check them later. I'd say you're probably going to be around 40 foot-pounds or something like that. So we had to take this heat shield out to remove the drive shaft. We're going to go ahead and get everything tightened back down. So I figured I'd do like a recap here. We're at our shop, Kelley's Detail. Might as well throw that plug in there, you know, since we're making the videos and stuff. I hope you guys have found any of this helpful. Not really doing it for like the glory and the fame, just trying to help other people out that are looking for the same information that we were looking for that doesn't happen to be out there. So I guess from now we've got our drive shaft on. I've gone up to about 167 in Mexico with no vibrations. That's a good sign, so I won't have to do any type of dismounting or rotating on the carbon fiber drive shaft. Working on the cars is my hobby, it's fun. I've been learning, it's not really something that I do for a business. If you'd like to see any like detailing stuff, we'd be happy to show you some detailing tricks. We do PPF, so paint protection film. We could show you, some installs on that. We could show you coating, proper wash techniques. If you guys want to interact and get involved in the comment section, we'd be more than happy to make a couple videos on detailing. I wanted to add when we did the cradle lockout kit and the full AAD rear, upper, lower control arms, and then toe, the full AAD drag kit. I would recommend, if you're going to do the lockout kit and the AAD kit, do it all at once and go get your alignment one time. I've had to go back for 2 alignments, so I ended up getting charged twice. I do have a local shop that's close to us that I have a really good relationship with, so they don't really charge me full price. But I did have to go back twice to get the alignment done, because once you drop the rear cradle, you're maneuvering things, and these things are so tight to spec that it ended up throwing off my driver's side. Not sure how the passenger side stayed okay, but the driver's side was out. And my steering wheel was cocked sideways, and this was after we did the cradle lockout. So highly recommended to get your alignment done one time instead of paying twice. That's just something that I went through, and as a quick thought, so I wanted to put it on video. But yeah, hope this helps. Let me know if you guys like to see anything else, and we'll try to keep making these videos.
Yeah.